Hey, what's up, guys? How you doing? So I wanted to talk about the Switch 2 and how it's going to be released soon. I'm very excited about it, but I'm excited because I want to play my Switch 1 games with better performance. um, you have to take into account that Nintendo is not telling us all the different titles that you can game share. I know Super Mario Odyssey is one of them, but I noticed they haven't really told you all of the titles, obviously, because it's going to be added later. One thing I can say is Mario Kart World will be able to game share. So if you have two or three or four kids like me, then you could game share one Mario Kart World 4 times. Now, unfortunately, that does mean 450 times three for three Switch 2s because Mario Kart World only works on Switch 2. So I think you can understand that, you know, Mario Kart World is pretty expensive if you think about it because you have to have three or four Switch 2s just to play Mario Kart World with four kids. Anyway, the other thing is the Express SD cards, they're pretty expensive. I'm getting a 256 gig that is $60, I believe. And I just had a bad taste in my mouth about a 512 gig being, $100. For 150, you can get a 1 terabyte Express SD card. These cards are expensive. And you have to keep in mind, you're not only going to have Switch 2 games if you get the game key cards, but you're also going to have Switch 1 games. Because I don't know about you, but me, I'm going to re download all my Switch 1 games I already purchased on the eShop so that I have it on the Switch 2. So this extra Express SD card is not even going to be for Switch 2. It's going to be for Switch 1. I'm not excited about Switch 2 games. I already have Cyberpunk on my Xbox if I really want to play it, which I haven't even played yet. I really should. I have an insane backlog. But I'm excited for people, that are happy about the Switch 2 and, what kind of power it might have. Boy, is that a discussion we should have. So apparently, Nintendo is not giving reviewers access to Switch 2. Now, I believe personally that there is either a vulnerability to already mod the Switch 2 and Nintendo wants to day one patch it because I've never heard of a day one patch before the public gets the system. It would be hilarious if the Switch 2 day one got modded all because of some vulnerability that somebody found in another country. Because think about it, North America hasn't gotten the Switch 2 yet. I'm sure other countries, if they get it, they're probably going to try and mod it as soon as possible. But that's Nintendo's fault because in my opinion, I don't think Mario Kart World is worth $80. And I also don't think that the company should dictate what their prices are for their own games. I think the customer should decide, oh, this game's worth whatever the customer thinks it's worth. It shouldn't be, oh, the customer buys it, it's not worth it. And I'm making sure I'm not buying it for 80 ever again. The next game that they release that they think's worth $80. You know what I say? Variable pricing, variable purchasing. How do you like that, Doug Bowser? You want to insult all of the loyal customers that had a Switch for 8 years and all the games that they collected? Oh, no, 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 no. You aimed it towards people that probably never even bought a Switch in their life and are going to just buy the Switch 2. But even that's messed up because not everyone's going to be able to afford the Switch 2, even if you are a new gamer. And then they're going to get a Switch 1 and get terrible performance games, which is going to be 30 frame rates per second to 25 frame rates per second. Looking at you, Monster Hunter Stories 2. Looking at you, Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom. And then Nintendo has the audacity to charge us for these updates. Yeah, not every Switch 1 game, is a free update. Think about that. They charged you for Metroid. They charged you for Kirby. They charged you for Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom and Legend of Zelda's Breath of the Wild, because the expansion pass, if you don't pay for the subscription, you own nothing. Nothing. You don't have your own N64 virtual console. You don't have your Game Boy Advance virtual console. No, the virtual console doesn't even exist. As far as Nintendo, as far as Nintendo's concerned, it never existed to begin with. We veteran Nintendo gamers know about the virtual console, and we know about the $40 that we paid for Pokemon 3DS, right? $40 each game. That's not one game, that's each game. We bought the N64 Super Mario 64 for $20. We bought all the Game Boy Advance on the Wii U. We bought all the DS games on the Wii U. Nintendo likes to be a video game nostalgia holding hostage. That's what they do. There's no reason why the mainline Pokemon games for Game Boy and Game Boy Color can't be on their stupid rental service. You can have Pokemon Red, Pokemon Yellow, Pokemon Blue, Pokemon Crystal, Pokemon Silver, Pokemon Gold. You can have Pokemon Ruby, Pokemon Sapphire, Pokemon Emerald. You could even have the DS on your Switch. But you're lazy, Nintendo. You're lazy. I wouldn't even be surprised if the only reason why the backwards compatibility is somewhat good on the Switch 2 is because you took Yuzu. That's probably why the backwards compatibility is so terrible. Because you took Yuzu's work. You are the most lazy company that I have ever had to deal with. This is coming from a person that bought 2 Switch 2s, right? I hope the Switch 2 fails. I really do, Nintendo, because you got cocky. You forgot about the customers that made you who you are. So I can't wait till the Switch 2 gets modded and no one's going to be paying $80. Gamefly. Rent it, give it back. Rent it, give it back. You got that, Nintendo? Gamefly. This gives you a hint in case you guys don't know about it. Good, I'm going to let everybody know about it. This is to back up your legal copy of games, okay? It's called the, as you can see. I'm not going to even say the word. All you do, you take your Final Fantasy, sorry. Anyway, I'll just read it. You take your Final Fantasy X because the digital download didn't come with the game, so I only got one of them. That's another reason why digital download codes suck. But you put it into this, and bam, you put it into your computer, you drag and drop, boom, you got your game back up. I know, Nintendo, how much you hate that. Well, too bad, because legally, we can back up our games. So deal with it. And soon we'll be able to back up Switch 2 games. Bet.